Hello everyone, I am Julian Morris with the Channel 5 News. In the headlines, government to roll out Phase 3 of the Lyar Rehabilitation and Reconstruction Project later this year. Barbados to go into lockdown for 15 days in February as COVID-19 cases continue to spike. And the World Health Organization expects the number of reported cases of COVID-19 to reach 100 million this week. The details coming up.
Strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. We're in this together. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
The Ministry of Public Works is now focusing on the third component of the Lyar Rehabilitation and Reconstruction Project. Component 1 of the project involved the construction of an emergency shelter in Lyar and stabilization of the northern bank of the Lyar River. The second component covered the reconstruction of a compromised section of the Eolibla Highway west of the Hillsborough Bridge. The current focus, which is the third component, will comprise the construction of 4 kilometers of roadway between Hillsborough Bridge and the York Valley Bridge.
The ministry has separated this component into 2 phases. Phase 1, which involves the construction and rehabilitation of the 4-kilometer road and elements of the river training works. And Phase 2, which involves the construction of river defense structures at 4 critical locations. In an effort to build resilience, the implementation of Phase 1 will involve the realignment of the 4-kilometer roadway northwards away from the river. This has significantly reduced the need for longer river revetments and retaining walls, resulting in a net reduction in cost and a better means of protecting the road infrastructure investment. The Ministry of Public Works and the Digital Economy has tendered the contract for Phase 1 of the works, and bids were returned on Friday, January 15, 2021. 6 contractors submitted proposals for the execution of works, and the evaluation of these submissions is ongoing. The Ministry of Public Works and the Digital Economy has commenced community stakeholder engagement to keep the community abreast with the project implementation plans. The ministry has identified the properties that will be impacted by this project. Cabinet has therefore approved the commencement of activities to acquire these properties. It is anticipated that actual construction will commence in May 2021 and last for a period of at least 12 months. An investment of that magnitude will provide job opportunities for construction workers, heavy equipment operators, service providers in the construction sector, as well as ancillary services. The Lyar East Road can be considered one of the main arteries which connects the west of the island to the east, and upon completion, this new and robust infrastructure will improve the redundancy in the national road network. A new Lyar Valley Road will certainly contribute to the socio-economic development of its beneficiaries by facilitating commerce and enhancing economic activities in critical sectors such as agriculture and tourism.
The recently appointed members of the Dominica Festivals Commission have been challenged to play their part in producing a successful Mass Dominic 2022. The announcement of new DFC members was made by Minister for Tourism Denise Charles during a Carnival stakeholders consultation earlier this month.
For the information of the public, let me just announce the newly appointed members of the Dominical Festival Commission. Mr. Gerard Puzlatic, the chairman, Ms. Marie Therese Johnson, deputy chairperson, Mr. Colin Piper, Mrs. Marvin Estrado, Mr. Irving Guy, Mrs. Carol Philip Williams, Mr. Chester Little, Mr. Jerry Williams, Ms. Cornelia Felix, Mr. Steve Hyacinth, Mr. Fael Lander, and Ms. Nawana Shillingford. I'm really pleased, and I know that you do an excellent job for the events and festivals in Dominica.
Stakeholders were reminded that the cancellation of Mass Dominic 2021 provides an opportunity to reflect on the country's carnival celebrations and how to better prepare for future events.
This engagement gives us an opportunity to look at ways we can enhance our carnival product. For some, that may be a change of date, or a different schedule of events, or different events altogether. It may mean refocusing on traditional mass or evolving into a more modern carnival, or a combination of both. Simply put, we have to decide if our mass is just for enjoyment or product to market our destination, celebrate our identity, draw people into an experience, our nature island, and spend money, which we really need in the economy right now.
The tourism minister indicated her confidence that the newly appointed members of the DFC would take charge in planning and executing a successful Mass Dominic 2022 if circumstances permit.
It is my hope that the recently appointed Dominica Festivals Commission stands ready to look critically at these recommendations and ensure that they are reviewed in a timely manner, because we also have to look at when do we start marketing Carnival 2022, if all goes well.
Dominica successfully wrapped up the first in a series of national consultations to be held across the OECS. Andrea Louis explains.
The two-day national workshop on climate change and human mobility was hosted by the International Organization for Migration (IOM) and the IOM Global Migration Data Analysis Center to engage key stakeholders in Dominica. This forms part of a project to enhance capacities in governments in the OECS to collect, analyze, and utilize data on human mobility caused by disasters. Acting Officer in Charge at the Office of Disaster Management, Mandela Christian, says it is important to have plans and policies in place to govern the movement of people in time of disaster.
It is really to help us decision makers put the necessary policies and strategies and plans in place to ensure that the basic human rights are met for these people. So at the Office of Disaster Management, especially emerging from this Erica, Maria, and even more recently with the COVID pandemic, we want to ensure that all our plans and policies are up to date. So this workshop was very instrumental in bringing together the national stakeholders.
5 other such workshops are to be held across the OECS as part of a wider project dubbed Regional Dialogue to Address Human Mobility and Climate Change Adaptation in the Eastern Caribbean. Head of Office for the IOM Dominica, Natasha Graves, says the workshop will be useful in centralizing data for use by governments in the OECS.
This project hopes to analyze the data that exists in the various states so that we can come up with technical guidelines that we can give to government so that they can enhance their data management systems. It is not that IOM is saying, okay, information does not exist. We know that information exists. This consultation that we've had here over the day and a half revealed to us that we have lots of information, but the information is in various places. So we believe that this project is very useful so that it can allow us to bring all the information in a central place and we can have better sharing of information.
Labour Commissioner Dr. Matthew LeBlanc says data collection is important for the mobilization of resources, especially as in recent times, Dominica has seen the movement of people as a result of natural disasters.
Of course, data collected by the government under certain laws are safeguarded and secured and stored properly and safely. So no one should really be concerned, because the data is for not only for the use of decisions by the government, but also to inform different agencies and institutions and government, other government technical persons and persons from the private sector can make use of that data to plan even in shipping, in airlifting, and in local transportation, in sheltering people, and various logistics can be arranged and designed as a result of the data.
Interim leader of the Dominica Freedom Party, Bernardito, pledges to maintain the fundamental values of the party while acknowledging there is a lot of work to be done. Here again is Andrea Louis with more.
Bernard Ito took up the mantle of interim political leader of the Dominica Freedom Party on Tuesday, following the resignation of Kent Vital on Monday. Ito, who is an engineer by profession and involved in social development, spoke to media on Wednesday, saying the core values of the Freedom Party is what Dominica needs at this point.
From a strategic, philosophical level, I see the Freedom Party as the party that most represents what Dominica needs right now, which is a sense of transparency, openness, a sense of integrity in government. And that was what the Freedom Party was founded upon 15 odd years ago, and what it continues to believe in this philosophy. We believe that social cohesion is what is needed in Dominica right now. Effective, transparent government based on effective professional people who do the job as technocrats, put in the best person in the job, expertise. That is the sort of philosophy that we have. But primarily it's about embracing the right values that we believe represents Dominica.
The Dominica Freedom Party will host its delegates convention in August, where it will elect a leadership body to guide the party forward. During his stint as interim political leader, Ito pledged to continue working with the team to ensure the DFP's fundamental values are preserved and promoted.
Our position fundamentally is to seek authentic development in Dominica rather than what we see now as smoke and mirrors development. We are pursuing plans we think can transform the island, productive capacity. If we believe if you do not have productive capacity in a country, you are really fooling yourself if you have true development. We do not believe that selling citizenships per se is a productive capacity building. It brings in revenue, but it does not transform the skills and capability of the country so that the people of the country themselves can pursue prosperity and take things to another level. And so authentic development in all forms, authentic human capital development, authentic industry, authentic governance in terms of transparency and having the right professionals in the right positions is the plans of the DFP.
DFP's interim political leader acknowledges that the party has a lot of work to do to regain its stature in society, but is confident the party will reach that point.
We plan to revive the party at a grassroots level to build an effective operational apparatus that can actually help execute those plans and rebrand the party and bring the party back to awareness. We know we have a steep climb ahead of us. The brand has taken certainly a lot of blows over the years, but we believe, as I discovered in my heart, there is a certain nostalgia that can be revived, and we look forward to doing that. We look forward to showing that we are a capable party, capable of governance, innovation, creativity, and that there are alternatives to truly develop this country effectively and professionally.
You are watching Channel 5 News. We'll have more after this.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. We're in this together. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
Small business owners are being encouraged to take advantage of training opportunities offered by the Climate Resilience Execution Agency of Dominica. CRED has just wrapped up training in financial management for small business owners and is looking to extend that program. The communications lead at CRED says many more small business owners ought to avail themselves of these training opportunities.
It is never enough, and right now it is too little. And I would go back to Natalie's point. I mean, as an entrepreneur, the onus is on you to make sure you avail yourself to the information out there and not blame others for you not knowing about CRED has training, the bank has training, or the opportunities that exist. We need entrepreneurs in Dominica that in order to be resilient, you have to be more proactive. You have to take the initiative to find the information on what is happening out there, because this was widely publicized. And as well, we can tell you, I mean, up to the beginning of 2021, close to 200 persons were actually trained, but we should have done 400. We could have done 500. There, as Eli pointed out at the beginning of his session, 90% of the businesses are small businesses. So where are the rest? You know, we're hoping that this session and Natalie's experience would encourage others. This is Eli's ultimate goal. We spoke about measuring and evaluation earlier. The ultimate goal is that when we leave here, the rest of the 90% gets in contact with CRED and opens us up to continue this training over the course of 2021 and well into 2022, because there is such a high level of small businesses in Dominica.
Entrepreneurs are being told that they must take the first step towards acquiring the training they need to transform their business.
It has been said that COVID will make you or COVID will break you. It is up to you what you're going to allow COVID to do to you. So the time is now for entrepreneurs to get creative, to take the initiative, and we can help you reach next level in your business. You may need to tweak this, shift that. It may just be one sentence that Eli says that changes and shifts your mindset, and your business mushrooms. As Natalie said earlier, her mind was opened. You know, her eyes were open. She found so many benefits through this training. We did close to 200. We could have done 400. We would have liked 500. And we're hoping that at the end of today, that we can start getting, you know, that flood of calls seeking out more training.
Spiking COVID-19 cases in Barbados have forced the government there to announce a 15-day lockdown in February. This effort is expected to facilitate a house-to-house health check initiative to get a handle on the spiking COVID-19 cases. Prime Minister Motley says the lockdown period would run from February 3rd to 17th. To date, Barbados has recorded 1,427 cases of the virus and 10 deaths.
This lockdown that we are calling, this pause, this national reset, is going to be necessary in order for us to give ourselves also a chance to go into the communities house by house by house and to do systematic household testing. And why? The doctors have represented to us that the earlier you plan, the earlier you can find persons in households who are symptomatic, the better their chance of recovery. One of the difficulties with the 3 persons who regrettably passed is that they came too late. And if we can go from house to house, determining who has symptoms, we're not going to test every single person in the house. But after you're asked questions, once you are displaying some form of symptoms, then they will use the rapid antigen tests. We have asked the University of the West Indies to work with us, along with the Ministry of Health, in order to have this done effectively, and I've asked the chairman of the Cabinet Subcommittee, Minister Walcott, to be in charge of this process.
Prime Minister Motley says those who are found to be positive will receive treatment as a matter of urgency.
We need at least 300 persons going into the community on a parallel track so that over the course of 10, 12 days, we are able to get into as many houses as possible, ask persons through a questionnaire that is already being used by the Queen Elizabeth Hospital with respect to symptoms, to get a sense of those who have symptoms, and then to use the rapid antigen tests to ensure that we can pick out of the community and take for treatment immediately all persons who are positive. When I say we are going to wage war on COVID, I mean it.
And the World Health Organization says it expects the number of reported cases of COVID-19 across the globe to reach 100 million this week. WHO Director General Dr. Tedros says 1 year ago this week, fewer than 1,500 cases of COVID-19 had been reported to the WHO, including just 20 cases outside China.
Numbers can make us numb to what they represent. Every death is someone's parent, someone's partner, someone's child, someone's friend. Our response must be twofold: to mourn those we have lost, and to resolve that each one of us will do everything we can to stop transmission and save lives. Vaccines are giving us hope, which is why every life we lose now is even more tragic. We must take heart, take hope, and take action. I have called for vaccination of health workers and older people to be underway in all countries within the first 100 days of the year. But there is so much we can all do to navigate our way out of this pandemic while we all wait our turn to be vaccinated. Physical distancing, avoiding crowds, masks, hand hygiene, ventilation, and more. You might be sick of hearing it. You might be sick of doing it. But this virus is not sick of us. Please do your part for yourself and for others.
Dr. Tedros says vaccination rollout is the key to economic recovery.
Last week, I said that the world stood on the brink of a catastrophic moral failure if it doesn't deliver equitable access to vaccines. 2 new studies show that it wouldn't just be a moral failure. It would be an economic failure. A new report from the International Labour Organization analyzes the impact of the pandemic on the global labour market. It finds that 8.8% of global working hours were lost last year, resulting in a decline in global labor income equivalent to $3.7 trillion. The report projects that most countries will recover in the second half of 2021, depending on vaccination rollout. It recommends international support for low and middle-income countries to support vaccine rollout and to promote economic and employment recovery. The second study, commissioned by the International Chamber of Commerce Research Foundation, makes a strong economic case for vaccine equity. It finds that vaccine nationalism could cost the global economy up to $9.2 trillion, and almost half of that, $4.5 trillion, would be incurred in the wealthiest economies. In contrast, the financing gap for the Access to COVID-19 Tools Accelerator this year is $26 billion. If fully funded, the ACT Accelerator would return up to $166 for every dollar invested. Vaccine nationalism might serve short-term political goals, but it is in every nation's own medium and long-term economic interest to support vaccine equity.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts, with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. We're in this together. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
To end the news, the headlines again: government to roll out phase 3 of the Lyar Rehabilitation and Reconstruction project later this year. Barbados to go into lockdown for 15 days in February as COVID-19 cases continue to spike. And the World Health Organization expects the number of reported cases of COVID-19 to reach 100 million this week. You may access the news on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the production team, I am Julian Morris. Thanks for watching. Join us tomorrow.